Before the video starts, I want to warn you that the audio is a little weird. I was stuck editing it forever. But shout out to my friend Desiree, who is forcing me to post it even though it is imperfect. So here we go. I'm going to call you out for something that I used to do. If you have a digital calendar where you have all of your tasks written out, every to-do, and it's all on a repeating basis, and it became so overwhelming to you that you now ignore said calendar. If it is making your calendar so overwhelming that you cannot even open the app, and you ignore all of the reminders because your brain can't sort through what's important and what can be ignored, it is time to start fresh. So here's what you're gonna do. You can absolutely write those things down, the things that were important enough to make it onto your calendar. Write those down, keep a little list of them. We're gonna use it. But the only things that you need to have on your calendar right now are appointments, trash pickup day, reminders to make appointments. Like if you wanted to put off making your annual checkup appointment or your dentist appointment until a couple months in advance so that you would know what your schedule is like, you can have a little reminder in there, put it in as a task. Google Calendar is actually really nice because you can separate out what is a task and what is an event now. I don't know how recently that they made that change, but it was since I was a teenager that they made that change, and now that's separated out. So keep those things on your list, on your calendar, and pull the rest. You do not need to be overwhelmed by your calendar. Okay, now here's what we're gonna do with the rest. If it is a daily task, I want you to assess whether it is causing you overwhelm and feelings of guilt, or if it's actually helping you. Now, if it should be daily, but you like to put it off because it's not as high of a priority as you want it to be, and it just kind of keeps getting pushed off to the next day or whatever, and then it just never gets done, it's not a daily task. Please do not put that on your clip list. Those daily tasks that are genuinely useful reminders for you are going to go on something like this. There are so many variations of this kind of thing, but this is what I call a clip list, where you have binder clips that you can flip closed to check it off, and it's really handy. You can put a little clip on it, clip it to your clothes, you can put a lanyard on it. It stays with you, and you can keep track of what is done and what still needs to be done in an analog form where it's not going to bother you to open an app and just be bombarded with a bunch of tasks that all need to be done all at once. I actually split mine into a few times of day, which has been really helpful for me. So there's one that's like a morning. I have this one that's a pre-dinner routine. You can make a bedtime routine, whatever is useful for you. And it's pre-sorted. Your brain doesn't have to manage filtering through what's most important, what can get skipped, what needs to be left behind, because all these things are important and they're already in an order that makes sense. You let the clip list keep track of everything that you do on a daily basis. Caveat, you can put time in your clip list to work on your cards. Does that make sense? So you can put a little reminder, like pull out a card and just do it. Maybe as part of your after lunch routine, you just do a card every day. Go for it. But you don't put the cleaning tasks on your clip lists if it's a weekly task. Okay, so now that we've got that sorted out, what do you put on your cards? You can do changing the sheets, sweeping the floors if that's not on your daily lists already. It could be really anything that happens at least annually. So I'm trying to give you a little visual. I brought my Brainbox cards out. I'll sort them in a minute and like explain what the tabs are for, but essentially this is kind of what I'm talking about. Just having cards where each card has a different task on it. And then when you're done with the task, you just get to refile it at the back of the same section. And this has been working really nicely. Some of them are handwritten, as you can tell, but a lot of them have like instructions on the back. So this is the fridge clean out. And then I wrote on the back some instructions for my family if I'm delegating and I don't want to take the time to have to explain something really thoroughly, I can just say, check the back of the card, and you have all your instructions there. So you obviously don't have to make it super fancy all at once. This has been the product of working on it for a really long time, actually. But yeah, that's hopefully a good visual for you. So here are the things that you need to have in place before you organize your cards. So first of all, schedule your spring cleaning. If you don't already keep a calendar, keep a calendar. Go get a calendar that is strictly for events, strictly for things that, you know, you're coordinating with other people. They are appointments. They are all that kind of thing that has to happen on a particular day. You put that on your calendar, not in your brain box, because your brain box is flexible, and you don't want to be flexible with, you know, checkups and taking the garbage bin to the street and all that kind of thing. If it needs to happen on a certain day, then it needs to be on your calendar. Oh, the police are out in force today. So your calendar is the first thing. The second thing that you need to have is put spring cleaning on the calendar. So choose a week that if you're doing homeschool, maybe don't do homeschool, maybe have that be your spring cleaning break. Whenever it fits into your calendar, the best. It could even be in the summer. It does not matter when it is. Just to have a cleaning week or two, if you want it to be a little bit more lackadaisical. You can have 2 weeks, that's fine. I do a week in the spring and a week in the fall. So that's what I do. And there's the other thing, don't schedule spring cleaning right before your birthday or anybody's birthday, if you can make that happen. I did that this year, and it was super stressful because I was doing like spring cleaning type tasks, and I was doing birthday party prep tasks, and that, I do not recommend that. I will never do that again. So anyway, it's gonna be on a week that doesn't have anything else on it. So I went to my friend's house today to help her sort out her brain box, and she had already made her cards. She had written down on little index cards all of the tasks that were on her mind that she needed to get done regularly, and it was so fun just like sorting it out together. So I'm gonna run through with you what to do once you've written down your brain box cards. You can have a few different categories of cards. Whatever you want to title your cards, you go for it. I'll tell you what I use. I use often, occasional, and once in a while because I really liked the alliteration. If I had to do it again, I probably would put often, occasional, and spring/fall cleaning. That's just the way I do it. So often could be termed weekly. It's just the most frequent, highest priority tasks that I do. Some of them got bumped from my daily tasks. I wanted to do them daily, but it just wasn't making the cut. And so now it's a weekly task. Some of them genuinely are weekly tasks, like mopping the kitchen. So that's where you're gonna put your highest priority tasks. If there's something that is still a priority, but it's not top priority, like really want to get it done weekly, then it goes in the occasional tab. So that's things like dusting for me. I was doing that weekly for a while, and now it's not as big of a priority. It was the spiders, actually. Okay, story time. When we first moved into our apartment, there were tons of spiders in this basement apartment, and I was having to dust every week, or there would be cobwebs all over. Like there would be at least 3 visible cobwebs if I didn't dust every single week. But then we got a spray, like we sprayed for spiders and bugs and things, and now I don't have to dust. It's like amazing. I will never go without spraying for spiders again. If I notice that I'm having to dust for cobwebs every single week again, we will be spraying. Anyway, that was fairly recently, but now you know, cobwebs don't need to be popping up every week. Anyway, so that's a monthly task now. And you know, any other things that are needing to happen on a somewhat regular basis, but not top priority, must happen every week. Okay, and then spring cleaning, that's pretty self-explanatory. All the things like cleaning the oven and, you know, whatever else. That honestly, I emptied it out of my brain. It is now sitting in my brain box. I don't even think about it. So I'm sorry, I can't just like rattle off the top spring cleaning tasks off the top of my head. So I hope you see how this method helps you see what's important at a glance on your calendar. It clears out all the fluff. And then as far as flexible tasks go, you just see it all one at a time. Pre-prioritize. You don't have to, sift through the same to-do lists and postpone tasks and feel like you're a terrible procrastinator when really it's just that you're visually overwhelmed. If you'd like to see other videos on the home flow method, you're welcome to check out my playlists that I have, and I hope that that's useful for you. And I will see you again soon.